Do I do the video with the hat or without the hat? I don't know. I'll leave the hat on. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and today we're going to be talking about how I made friends post-college, how I made friends as an adult. So I see so many YouTube videos and so many Reddit posts and everything about people recommending ways to make friends. However, most of these are just suggestions. So I'm sitting here today, this is going to be kind of like my testimony of how I made friends as an adult. Everything that I'm going to say here is things that I've done post-college, right? 22 and up. So let me know in the comments below as this video is going on if you've made friends in a similar way or ways that you've made friends that I haven't mentioned here. So the first way that I made friends after college was through work. I was very blessed after college that I joined a training program in my industry, and there were 12 of us. We were all the same age. We were all in the same point in life, and we were making friends with each other, obviously. The thing is, we spent a lot of time together at work. You know, we ate lunch together every day. Some of us would go to the gym together, things like that. So we weren't really friends outside of work. We met up a few times outside of work, but nothing really stuck. And after the company unfortunately went out of business, none of us really stayed close, and none of us live in the same city anymore. People kind of dispersed throughout the country. So none of us really stayed close. Half of them are married now, so it's hard to stay friends with that. I believe that if we lived in the same city and if the company had stayed together, we probably would have stayed very close friends. And if any of the women, specifically the women, happened to live in the same city as me, I would probably bump into them and I would probably be really good friends with them, to be honest. I still connect with them on social media and everything. And if I needed to get a new job and I had to reach out to any of them, I know that would work too. I do recommend when you do make friends with people at work to try, especially if you're hanging out and spending a lot of time together, to make friends of the same sex. I am not a fan of the whole concept of, oh, my work husband, oh, my work wife. I really don't like that. I think it's very inappropriate. If you ever find yourself calling the same name as your husband or your wife or your boyfriend, girlfriend, you might want to reevaluate that relationship. Of course, a one-off is a one-off. You know, I always called my kindergarten teacher mom by accident. Okay. One-off time, a kindergarten teacher's like, mom, that's totally fine. But if you find yourself consistently calling your work friend by your boyfriend's name, you really need to reevaluate that relationship. That being said, my next two jobs are where I made two of my best female friends that I absolutely love. The next company I worked for, it started off like, I'm basically telling you how I met my friends. It started off, this girl and I were about the same age. We started around the same time. We would eat lunch together, go down to the gym together. Same kind of thing. And then as the company started to go out of business, we started going to longer lunches outside of work and spending more time together. And then the company went out of business and we didn't really speak that much, occasionally here and there for the next several months. And then I went through a breakup. I really think breakups are beautiful opportunities to reconnect with friends, reach out to people, because all women, this video, of course, my videos are always more targeted towards women than men, even though my audience is about half and half. As women, we all know that pain. We all know that pain of going through a breakup. We all understand. We're all going to meet you for lunch, dinner, drinks, whatever after work if you're going through a breakup. So I was going through a breakup. So I reached out to this girl. She and I immediately reconnected, got more dinners together. She ended up moving to the same city that I lived in, and now we see each other very frequently. The next girl that I met through work, we actually work remotely, yet we still live in the same city. So it all started one day when she just said, hey, let's just meet. She initiated, let's meet at a coffee shop and work during the day. And hey, happy hour at this new restaurant, let's go. It all just starts with that invitation. And let's face it, usually people are very risk adverse. People are very much afraid of rejection. I think dating apps have a lot to do with that. Even turning down someone for a job, that's now done online, everything. People are very afraid of rejection. So I can see how people are afraid to reach out to new people and invite them to happy hour, invite them to dinner. It really just comes down to you gotta be the one to initiate it. I had another girl that lived in the same city as me who I reached out to. We got happy hour once and we never saw each other again. It didn't work out. It's not always gonna work out with these work friends of the same sex. Even if you're around the same age, same state in life, it doesn't always work out. It is what it is. You just gotta cast a wide net and see what happens there. The next way that I made one of my absolute best friends is through travel. I've talked on here before about the company Under 30 Experiences. If you've heard of Kontiki, if you've heard of G Adventures, those are other travel companies that are great ways to meet people. I have gone on several trips with Under 30 Experiences. I'll link my referral code down below and the video where I talked about them. I've gone on many of these trips, but I've never stayed close with anybody afterwards. I had one trip where I made a male friend. He ended up introducing me to many of his friends. We probably would have stayed closer if we didn't live in different cities and he didn't get a wife now. So we would have probably stayed closer, and I probably would have stayed closer with some of his female friends who I did see outside of that too. You never know what's going to happen. One of the trips I went on, I met a girl who is around the same age as me, and she lives in the same city as me. Again, living in the same city as someone is big. It starts with the initiation, right? She and I really bonded on the trip. On all of those trips, again, great ways to meet people. You're sitting for meals together all trip. Like there could be 14, 16 people on these trips. You're all in their 20s, early 30s. They do have over 30 trips now for people over the age of 30. You're just sitting together on all these trips, constantly eating together, going on buses together, going on activities together. It's really great. It's really a great way to meet like-minded people. And I was very fortunate that I met my one friend 2 months after the trip. She's like, hey, there's a Mexican restaurant I really want to try. Do you want to come get dinner with me? Yes, I do. And she is a ringleader. I can tell you that right now. She throws tons of parties all the time at her apartment. And I've met so many friends through that. I've met a girl who was looking to start playing pickleball, so I started playing pickleball with her. I only have taken 2 lessons so far. I don't know if it's going to stick because I play a lot of golf, but she just invited me to come play pickleball with her, and I met her through this girl who I only met because I said yes to going on a trip and then said yes to getting Mexican food with her after the trip. Again, great way to meet someone. The most prominent way that I've met most of my friends, I'm sure is no surprise to anyone who knows my channel, is through Catholic young adult groups, through church, right? So I've been very blessed that I live in North Jersey, New York City area, where there's tons of Catholic young adult groups. There's tons of young people on fire for their faith. And I'm very blessed that these are good young adult groups where again, it started when I had my ex-boyfriend. We were looking to meet people in New York of a similar mindset, of a similar age. But we would go to these events, me and my ex-boyfriend, but we wouldn't talk to anyone. We wouldn't really meet anyone because we were in our nice, comfortable little bubble. However, we ended up going on a pilgrimage to France. And on that trip, my roommate, because obviously a Catholic trip, boyfriends and girlfriends are going to stay in separate rooms. On that trip, my roommate on that trip, turns out we had so much in common. She ended up becoming one of my very, very, very good friends. Other girls on that trip, again, became very good friends of mine. And I was so blessed. I made so many friends that trip. When I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend shortly after that trip, I stayed friends with all the girls. It was great. And it was such a beautiful way to meet people because you can go to a bunch of these young adult groups, but if you don't start inviting them to hang out outside of the young adult groups, you're never going to get like that close. One of the ways to get close with people at these Catholic young adult groups is to go to the same events consistently. So for example, at the time, Catholic NYC had a theology on tap that happened, I think, like every first Monday of the month. So I would consistently go to that. They used to have Love and Responsibility. I'm not sure if they're doing it this summer. Consistently go to that. The Catholic Young Adult Mass, consistently go to that. Catholic Underground, consistently go to that. Book clubs, consistently go to that. They have there's so many events for Catholic NYC and other young adult groups in this area, in other areas of the country. Just consistently go to them. You're going to see the same people. You're going to start having the same sort of follow-up conversations. But it really does come down to you asking for their social media, asking for their phone number, and inviting them to things. When I first moved to this apartment 4 years ago, I threw a Friendsgiving. Again, this was COVID-y times, so this was very scary for me because I'd only met some of the people once or twice because we weren't really having in-person events yet. I invited a large number of people and only 8 to 10 were able to show up. I got so close to those people and they got so close to each other. It's really important that we throw these events for our friends and that they come, we mingle, and we form friendships. I mean, I once invited a couple of people to go to the Renaissance Fair with me and 2 people met and now they're married with a kid. You just never know where you're going to meet people. Again, sorry, I should put in a little disclaimer there that you shouldn't be inviting these people hoping they meet and they get married and everything. You should only be inviting these people that we hopefully come together in fellowship, that we're like-minded. And it's just a great opportunity for something to do. Eat some good food. If food's available, drink some good drinks and have a great time, do something fun together. So it's really, really important that you be that ringleader. And it just starts with, hey, do you want to get drinks? Or, hey, it's my birthday. Birthdays are great for making friends. I recently had my 30th birthday and I invited a whole bunch of people that I wasn't even close to some of these people. I invited them. They got along so well. Everyone got along so well. One of my friends from a Catholic young adult group in Brooklyn ended up coming to my birthday in New Jersey. He said it was the first time he was ever in New Jersey. He had a great time meeting all of my New Jersey friends, all my Catholic NYC friends. It was a great time. So yes, definitely invite people who maybe you're like, they might not come because they live far away or blah, 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 but you never know. That might be their one opportunity to make new friends, see a different city if they live in a different city and see, oh, maybe I'd like to live here. Maybe I'd like to be a part of this group. Another thing with the Catholic young adult group scene is I think there's a big misconception that it's always spouse hunting. It is not always spouse hunting. I've always seen it as an opportunity to learn about the faith, specifically through things like theology on tap, talks, discussions, Bible studies. It's always a great way to learn about your faith, but it's also a good way to meet friends of a similar age and of a similar mindset. They're not all equal. I'm very blessed that there's tons of Catholic young adult groups in my area. However, some of them, I've gone to their events and I don't gel with them. I don't vibe with them. So I know people always complain that their young adult groups are 10-to-1 ratio of men to women. That's so weird because all of the young adult groups that I'm involved in is like 50-50 men and women. That's very weird to me that they say it's 10-to-1 odds on men to women. That's super weird. So not all young adult groups are built equal. If you go to a bunch of young adult groups and you can't find any friends at them, that's okay. Not all are equal. Not all are going to vibe with you. Even going to, I have a cousin who I've gone to his birthday the last few years, and I meet all his friends there. I meet them once a year. I only see these people once a year, but I kind of look forward to his birthday and seeing these people once a year. Last year I knew one guy was studying for the bar, so I said to him this year, "Oh, did you pass the bar exam yet?" He goes, "Yes, I'm now a lawyer at this practice, blah, blah, blah." Good for him. That makes me so happy. So even once a year friends are just fun to have. Another way that I've made friends post-college is through my friends that I do have from college. I do have some friends from college who have gotten boyfriends, and their boyfriends' friends have become friends with me. And for example, every year at New Year's, I get invited to my friend's boyfriend's friend's New Year's party. I mean, that's so much fun. I barely know these people. I only see them a couple of times a year, but they've always been so kind. They've always included me in everything. They've always asked about me. And it's great. It's a really good opportunity to meet different people. So reach out to your friends who have boyfriends and say, "Hey, like, I'm looking to make new friends. Can you invite me to some of their stuff?" I literally did that to my friend, and I get invited to all of her boyfriend's friends' things. So much fun. Online dating, of course, if you do meet someone, it is good. You're able to make friends through his friends. Those aren't the easiest friendships because sometimes those friendships don't stick post breakup. If you guys do unfortunately break up. There is a shadow on my face I don't love, but I like the hat and I like the earrings with it, but oh well. I really just want to reiterate, I think the fast track way to make friends is to invite a bunch of people to come hang out with you. Throw spaghetti at the wall. Just say, "Hey, there's a sports game happening on Sunday that I really want to watch. These are all things that I've done. Everything that I'm naming right here are things that I've done. Do you guys want to come watch it?" I do think it's a good idea to make sure you have at least one other person who's definitely going to come, one other person probably of the same sex, just again, so it's not weird, doesn't feel like a date, to come to your event, just to make sure you have one other person because some people might be really busy and might not be able to make it, and it might not be a reflection on you. I have one friend, I have always invited her to all of my birthday parties, events, all that stuff, and she has never come to anything, but she always consistently says, "Please keep inviting me, please keep inviting me." She's a nurse, she has a very busy schedule, and she lives kind of far away, but she has come to one event like once. So you never know, they really could be that busy, they really could lose interest. If they don't say, if you invite someone 2 or 3 times, and you get the vibe that they're not interested, you don't have to invite them again. There are some people that you just know are interested, but they are very, very busy. Another example of something I've done, there's so many different little ways you can sprinkle in to make friends. Another example is if it's 4th of July, it's Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. I personally usually don't go away for those holidays. I usually am just staying local, but the weather is always great. So I just say, "Hey, I'm having a picnic in the park." I invite 10 people, 5 of them are away, 5 of them come. Again, that's a really, really good way to make friends. It's all about the invitation, but it's also about saying yes to invitations. That's really the only way to do it, is invite people and say yes when you get invited. That's the way to do it. And also to have no expectations. Have no expectations that you're going to meet. Again, I talk about this a lot. I talk about dating a lot. And there is pressure on you to meet someone and pressure on you to like, okay, my husband might be here. Probably not. Okay, like everyone always says, "Oh, I'm so unlucky in love. Oh, dating's going terribly." Dating always goes terribly until it goes well, right? It's always supposed to not work out 99% of the time. It's only supposed to work out 1% of the time. However, with making friends, you have a lot more opportunities to make friends, to meet people. So you can't put as much pressure on it. However, just don't put expectations on it, right? Just surrender all your expectations and just focus on, all right, I have an opportunity to meet new people. That's how I try to go into it. You also just need to be courageous. I do think it is courageous to go to events by yourself, to go to try pickleball or tennis or golf by yourself. That is courageous to go and try these things by yourself. So do give yourself a pat on the back if you do go to something by yourself. Even if you don't meet anyone, even if you don't connect with anyone, good for you for going to something by yourself. So just to reiterate, times, for example, that I have hoped to make friends, but I don't. You guys know I love golf. Everyone's always like, "Oh, do you have a lot of friends that golf?" No, not really, because I always golf with my brothers, with my family. So I don't really go to the golf course hoping to meet people. There isn't really an easy way to meet people while golfing. You can go to the driving range, but everyone's kind of in their own zone golfing. Everyone's like, how come you have never met a man while golfing? Men love golf. You can't really meet people on the driving range. That's not really a thing that happens. Of course, I play in an area where the course that I play at, it's mostly men my father's age. Any men that are around my age, we wear gloves in our left hands. There's absolutely no way for me to tell if they're married or not. And again, it's like, it's weird because my family's always with me, and it's just, I don't know, so it's odd. I don't think I'll ever meet someone golfing. One other way to make friends is actually through your roommate. If you are like me and you live in an expensive area, it is not uncommon to have roommates into your 30s. It's not common, pretty much everyone does unless they're married. However, I met my last 2 roommates on Facebook. That's literally Facebook spare room. That is how you sometimes have to meet roommates. You're not always going to live with your friends. I don't recommend even living with your friends, but that's a video for another day. My last roommate, she and I got along very well, and she had parties at her apartment. I would go to the parties. I'd meet friends. It was awesome. I didn't stay in touch with them. I didn't stay in touch with her when she moved out and moved to the suburbs and got married and everything. But my current roommate, she and I weren't very close friends, I would say, until maybe about a year and a half of living together. She broke up with her boyfriend. And again, that breaking up with the boyfriend really pushes you to go out of your comfort zone. Once she broke up with the boyfriend, she started hanging out with me a little bit more. She met some of my friends, going to events and everything, and I started talking to her more because she's not always talking to her boyfriend. She's not always with her boyfriend. So I started talking to her more. I'm like, oh, this is a great girl. We can be friends. And don't be afraid to invite your roommate to events with your friends as well. I never in a million years would expect my current roommate to want to come to events with my Catholic friends, but she does. She'll come to some stuff, not Catholic events, but she'll come to events with my friends, and it's really fun. And you get to know the person a little bit more. But don't be upset with your roommate if they don't want to be friends with you, if they want to be strictly roommates. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. Especially if they have a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. Like, they don't have as much time for you. They might not be as interested. And you know what? As long as they're clean and they're good roommates and they pay the rent on time, that's what really matters. So if you could let me know in the comments below which ways you've made friends post-college as an adult, I would really appreciate it. I'm very blessed that I have a ton of awesome friends. Even I'm 30 years old. I expect to keep making more and more friends as I get older, as I just keep meeting people. As I move to a new building, a new city, I continue to expect to make new friends, and I'm just very excited for what God has in store. If you guys give this video a thumbs up, hit the bell and hit subscribe so you never miss one of my videos. I will really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Bye.